Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. In a video I did recently, I said I had been working on my Christmas cards, and I asked you if you would like to see my Christmas cards and a Christmas card share, and several of you said yes. So here we go. This is this year's Christmas card that I'm going to make. I make about 100 cards every year. I use most of them. I give a few to my daughter and a few to my daughter-in-law to use for some of their special ones. This is the one that I settled on. I don't know if you can see. Let me get up where I can see what you see. I love this. This is that really nice glitter paper that it doesn't come off. You know, it's just gorgeous. And then this is the blue, like kind of I liked it because it looked like night, kind of like a night sky. And then this is the white glitter. It's the white iridescent. That one's probably hard to see. And then this is also the white iridescent. But it really made a pretty combination, I thought. This is the first one I made, and I didn't put the star behind it. But I liked it better with the star behind it. So I'm going to keep doing the star. The only problem is I didn't cut out all 100 stars. And my friend borrowed all of my Christmas die cuts, and then she left on a cruise. So I didn't have that star. But I have this one. If I can get it untangled from the thing. I have this one. And it's more of a 4th of July star, but I cut off some of the curlicues, and I'm not too sure I don't like it better. So I'm going to use it on this one tonight, and I really may continue to use it. I know that other one's kind of the traditional Christmas star, but I really kind of like this one. And it has a star. This star in the middle is cut out, but I'm leaving it in there because I want the whole star. So just 8.5 by 11 black cardstock that I'm using for my card. Cut it half in two and you get 2 cards. So I'm going to lay that over there. And then, so your card base ends up being 5.5 by 4.25. So I cut this 5.25 by 4 so that I have 1/4 of an inch all the way around my card. So this for the snow. Not a pattern. I just cut a little rectangle about this big. Let's see. I cut my rectangle, I'm going to say about 1.25 inches wide, and then I cut it about 4.5 inches long, and then I just started cutting, and then I used both sides of it. You know, I can flip it, and that makes 2. And then I cut it a little longer than this because I wanted to be able to trim it off. So we're going to start by putting our little snowdrift on our glitter paper, our background. And I use quite a bit of liquid adhesive when I'm gluing to glitter paper because you got to get some glue down in there to hold it. So there is our snowdrift. I'm just going to hold that a second. Every year I say this may be the last year I do Christmas cards. I started making Christmas cards. Well, first I started writing a Christmas poem. And I started that, I'm going to say, over 30 years ago. At least 30 years ago, writing a Christmas poem. And I would put it in my Christmas cards. Then I started making my Christmas cards, I don't know, a lot of years ago. And then, of course, I also write a Christmas poem and put in them. So I have quite a collection of Christmas poems. All right, so there is just kind of our basic thing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to ink our lampstand. Now, I'm going to show you the die cuts that I used. I didn't bring that one over here. Yeah, I did. I got it right here. Show it to you. This star, like I said, I don't have the actual Christmas star because my friend borrowed it. This is kind of a 4th of July die cut. So I just put it on the edge of my paper so that I could just cut those little things and just come up with that. I didn't cut, of course, all of that out. So this is one of my oldest die cuts. I forgot what these are called. I mean, it's just a die cut, but I don't know if you can see that. There's the lampstand, there's the wreath, and there's the bow. And then you just put your paper on there and you put your plate on top and you slide it through your die cut machine. And it's got these blades down in there. So when it presses against it, it presses against those blades. These are the die cuts we used to use in school years and years and years ago with the alpha letters and things like that. And then this one is just the Peace on Earth. And I don't even know where I got that. I've had it a long, long time. So those are the die cuts that I actually used. So I'm going to use ground espresso for my lampstand to ink it. It has to be inked. It's just too plain looking. I mean, there's all the difference in the world between this lamp and this lamp. So it definitely, definitely, definitely needs to be inked. Get some of this stuff scooted. So, and like I said, I'm using the ground espresso. It does pretty good on this. This is just craft paper that I used. So the ground espresso looks pretty good on it. I'm telling you, folks, my life is crazy. To some of you who follow my channel, well, all of you evidently do, but you notice I haven't had much up lately. I have puppies. I've been trying to do some preparation for All About That Bass. It starts tomorrow, and I've been trying to do some things for it. And then we have a game coming out in November that I want to do over on Ginger's Corner. Excuse me, all of those things are over on Ginger's Corner. And then working on these Christmas cards. But the main thing, of course, is having puppies. And I had 2 litters at the same time. One of my girls had her puppies on Sunday afternoon. And I had a wedding shower that I was doing Sunday right after church. Got that done, got home from the wedding shower, and literally about 10 minutes later, she started having puppies. And then, of course, I'm, in the middle of a semester with supervising students. So it's just been crazy, and I just haven't had time to do much of anything. I've got everything ready to do my turkey vacation share, but I haven't had, like I said, just haven't had time. Go across that, and then I'm going to go across where these are. This little dauber's about shot. And probably up here, which that's probably not even going to be seen. It's going to be under the wreath. So I think that's good. Now, I think that first one doesn't have like this one that I did very first doesn't have the light behind it. This is another piece of glitter paper, but it's the off-white so that it looks more like light. And I really, really like it better with that on there. So we are going to put our lamp, our street light is going to be on. So get some, oops, I didn't check this before I started. This one seems like it's wanting to be stopped up, and we don't need it stopped up. Maybe we'll get that. Come on, cooperate with me. Oh, there we come. There we come. And then we're just going to put this right on the back of that. I just cut it out. I made me a little pattern and then just cut it out. So when you turn it over, you've got the light. Boy, I tell you, these are hard with no eyes, I'm telling you. Okay, eventually I'll get it on there. There it goes. Okay, so that's got our snowdrift and our lamp stand. So we can go ahead and put our lamp stand on there, just like that. I'm not going to use my fine tip glue for that. Excuse me. I'll use the broad tip and get it on there good. Let's get a little across there. Okay. This goes together pretty quickly once you get all the pieces cut, but it's a lot of trips through the die cut machine to make 100. A lot of, just making the multiple pieces takes a while. Okay, I think that's pretty good and fairly straight. And I just put this on there flat. I am going to use some foam tape on my wreath, however, but we've got to work on our wreath just a little bit. So let's set our card right there. These things out of the way. The first thing I'm going to do on this wreath is I'm going to go ahead and put the, the foam tape on it so that I don't have to mess it up to get the foam tape on it when the time comes. Just cutting some narrow little strips to put around the wreath. I think I used about 4 of them. I love that die with that lamp stand and the wreath and the bow. Like I said, it's one of the first ones I ever bought years ago. Come back here. Okay, so now we've got it ready to put on. We need our bow on it. So let's get our bow on there. Got a little carried away with the glue, but I want it to have enough to have a little ant, these little thingies that are attracted to my light. That will dry clear, so it'll be fine. Whoops, I don't want to slide it to the side though. Stay right where you belong. Then you'll see I have some little dots out of the little scraps that my bows came out of. I just pushed I just did some hole punch little dots out of that scrap to put on my wreath as the berries. So we're going to put a few of those on there. Okay, we got some dots. Let's get some berries. You can just put however many you want. I may have gotten a few too many. I may leave 1 or 2 of them off. We'll see. Maybe kind of crowded with berries. But hey, that's okay. It's going to be okay. Like Ginger says, there's no wrong way. That's a good thing because I do some strange things sometimes. Okay, that's more than enough. Scoop that one up with those. Okay. All right, there we go. So our wreath is complete. We can take off our backing and get it on there. If I don't start, we had a craft weekend at church, and we had a all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then like long days on Thursday and Friday, and then a short day from like 9 to 5 on Saturday. And if I don't start, I'm going to put some glue on these because I know it's on that lamp. It'll be fine. If I don't start on my Christmas cards now, I don't have time to get them done. So that's mostly what I worked on there, was just Christmas cards. And I got about 60 of them, I think, done. Okay, so there's our lamp and our wreath, our snowdrift. So now all we have to do is this part over here. And like I said, I really think I like this star. Maybe better than this one, even though this is the traditional, more Christmas star. This one came out of a, excuse me, a nativity set that die cut set that I have, but I really like this one. So anyway, I'm going to use it. Where this one was like a 4th of July star. And I'm not going to if that piece comes out, I'm just going to put it back in. I don't want it open. Well, I had 16 puppies. There were 17 born, but one was stillborn. One was born dead. And I had 16, and then one of my mamas laid on one and squished it. And so it didn't make it, but I still have 15. One mama has 10, and then the other one, after she laid on it, she's the one that had the stillborn. She had 7 total. She had the stillborn one and then laid on one. So she's down to 5. And oh, it is something else especially with the one that has 10, because they just can't hardly support 10 puppies. So I have to supplementally feed every 2 hours. And right now I have one that is sick. I don't know, he got bloated and constipated and all that, and so went to the vet today, and hopefully, I don't know, he may not survive, but we'll see. I really like this star, like coming through the letters, but that would be more than what I can do on 100 cards, so I guess we'll just put it on top. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some behind, some in front. Let's see what this looks like. I think I want that one behind for sure. I don't want it low enough that it's not touching those beams from that star, though. That puts the title too low. I think I like it better up higher. Yeah, I think I do. I like it better up higher. Okay. Let's just get that on there. Do any of y'all make your Christmas cards? Every year, like I said, I think, oh, I just don't think I can do it another year. But then I seem to. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard. It's hard, especially to make that many. And then my girls want some, and I like to make some for them too. We give Christmas cards at church. I only mail about 30, 35 anymore, maybe 40-ish. And then we do a bunch at church. And so that's another 50 or so. And then I usually give my girls about 10 each to use for like just special things, like the kids' teachers or certain friends or something. I don't make all of theirs by any means, but so I end up making anywhere from 100 to 125, somewhere in there, usually every year. And some years I get kind of stupid on what I choose to do, and it's hard and it's so labor intensive, and I'm like, why is this what you chose to do? Why didn't you do something simpler? I've got to work on that piece just a little bit. Get it straightened up just a little. I think I need more glue on it. But I liked this one a lot. And I am going to do a Christmas card share to show you some of the cards that I've made through the years. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. Maybe you can get some inspiration from that. And I try to use one of my Christmas cards as an embellishment in a Christmas layout. Last year, I had 2 friends that made cards, and I used both of theirs too. Okay, so that is this year's Christmas card, at least the cover of it. So the inside, and this is what the twist is going to be tonight, I put a poem every year on the inside of my card. And so I write these poems. I've been writing them, like I said, for about 30 years. So this is this year's Christmas poem, and it's called It's All Part of the Plan. I wake up and it seems this world has gone crazy. Many don't care, and Christians have become lazy. Just when I think everything is out of control, a sweet peace sweeps across my soul. God has a plan from beginning to end, with twists and turns that I don't always understand. Here is what I know so far. He sent his only Son, announced by a star. He lived and taught his holy way, so I could believe and walk with him day by day. He is the light in our darkened world when we feel blind, broken, and unfurled. Then he died to pay my debt of sin, and God raised him to life again. But there's more to this story yet to unfold. There are things to come that prophets foretold. He will come again to take his believers home, where he will reign eternal on his throne. You see, it's all part of God's perfect plan to show the love of the great I am. That is this year's poem. So I just put my poem on the inside of the card. And this year I will use a white gel pen to write my little greeting and sign it. Or I could have cut a shape of some kind that I could have written on with a regular pen, but I decided I wanted to use the white gel pen this year. So there is that. And then we glue this to the front, and voila, we have our card. At least one. I've got a whole bag full of them made, so I'm actually kind of ahead of the game for this year. And I just type my poem and print it on cardstock on the printer, and then cut them to put in there. See, my finger still looks crazy, awful bad. I should have put a Band-Aid on it before I did a video. Okay, there she is. All finished and all done for a Merry Christmas card. I hope you enjoyed this. Excuse me, I've kind of got this cough tonight. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gave you some inspiration. And if you'll be watching, I'm also going to do a Christmas card share that I've done through the years. So you'll get to see a lot more. Thanks for dropping by my channel. I hope you have a blessed day. And by the way, you better be watching the skies. I think the Lord's coming back pretty soon. And be a blessing to someone else. Thanks.